Please call the roll.
Griffin,
Here.
Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moorer, McCormack, Polensik, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, I'll make the following statement. This meeting of Cleveland City Council is a lawful meeting. Under Section 605.04 of the Codified Ordinances, no person with purpose to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting shall do any act which obstructs or interferes with the due conduct of such meeting. Members of the public are invited to speak only under the rules set by this council. Disruptions, including but not limited to speaking out of turn and making loud noises and loud utterances, are in violation of the rules and interfere with the due conduct of this lawful meeting. Such disruptions may constitute a misdemeanor and a violation of 605.04. Anyone who disrupts this lawful meeting in violation of the codified ordinances commits misdemeanors and is subject to prosecution. The following is the first and only warning. If this meeting is disrupted, I will gavel a halt to the proceedings and direct the assembled officers to escort any person participating in the disruption out of the chamber. Once persons participating in the disruption are outside of the chambers, the officers will close the doors and the disruptors will be handled as directed by the Director of Public Safety. The council proceedings will not begin again until those that participated in the disruption have left the chamber and the chamber doors are closed. Disruptors will not be allowed back in the chamber after the meeting resumes. Again, this is the first and only warning. Madam Clerk, please dispense with the journal.
By Councilmember Harsh, that the reading of the minutes of the last meeting be dispensed with the journal approved. Seconded by Councilmember Conwell.
We'll move to public comment. I'll ask everyone to turn around and acknowledge the speakers, and I ask the speakers to acknowledge your time. When you see it on the yellow, that means to wrap it up. When it gets to the red, that means that you have to abruptly stop. I will start out with Janae Horn, West Side, to talk about the judicial system. Janae is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Janae, you have the floor.
Hello, my name is Jeanette Cherie Horn. I identify as a golden female prophet, Nimamai. My question here today is I have the right to challenge the U.S. court as well as the government for its decisions pursuant my First Amendment right. And if you don't mind, I would like to raise my hands while I say this. In Ottawa County, I was shot by police officers in my back while handcuffed in broad daylight outside of the police department. It has been covered up for years as I have tried to seek justice for it as well as reach out to other legal individuals. I've written to the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., as well as called the DCs, as well as other legal departments within the U.S. as well as the state of Ohio. I would like to know how these officers are still walking the street, why I never received justice, why they're still covering it up. Even as of today, I moved to a whole nother state and these officers from the same county sent a fictitious warrant to that state and had me detained. And if the state did not ask them for a pickup date, I would have been in that county for 6 months losing my property. These police officers literally shot me for no reason, and I can testify to that, I can polygraph to that, and there was people who were witnesses to this. And I would like to know why Ottawa County is walking around with this going unanswered. Any remarks? Because I can testify to it, I can polygraph to it. I was handcuffed and shot in my back by police officers for no reason, and their main witness told them that she lied on me. I was not fighting, I was not resisting, I was not even guilty of the charge that they placed on me, and they know it. And their main witness in a courtroom made up of officers and officers' family members, I will polygraph to that as well, which is illegal in any state. And when I asked for a change of venue, I was refused that. After told that I could have it, they refused it. And I received a DM from a judge dealing with this case telling me that he had an AK-47 and did I want it? And I have that DM still on my phone. Anybody that's working for the Judicial Department, would you like to answer that? When you all have an answer, please notify Jeanette Cherie Horn. And please stop asking people to vote because you all aren't for the people, obviously.
Next, we have Daryl Houston from Bedford Heights to talk about city issues. He's not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Mr. Houston, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Blaine Griffin. And this is directed towards Mr. Griffin and the mayor, the two leaders. You asked for a report on from the community, should you run for mayor or not, right? Well, you probably could run for mayor, right? And you probably would win, right? If you had a better track record, right? Now, what I mean by a better track record is me and you have been dealing with each other for about 9 months. You came to my establishment, Mr. D's Car Wash. We spoke, we had pleasantries. I gave you some ideas. I've been coming down here for 12 months. And what stuck out to me is that right now we have an ineffective safety committee, and we definitely have an ineffective utility committee, right? And I've asked you repeatedly to consider removing the top people at the chair that's orchestrating that. And that's Mr. Polenzek, that's sitting there reading a book, that never turns around when you ask him to turn around, never looks at the community. Here's another gentleman, Kasich, who's told me personally that he don't even really care about public comment, but y'all serve the public. And I'm trying to understand, how do you guys act the way y'all act with taxpayers' dollars? I don't understand that. And then you take a hearsay conversation and you write a letter to a federal judge about a former Attorney General, right? With nothing on it, with nothing. So I plan on writing a letter. You won't kick the can, Mr. Polenzek. You won't be able to kick the can because the burden of getting these people and these police back in the streets and doing their jobs rely on that safety committee. And you've been kicking the can. You've been here through 4 administrations. It's time for you to retire, bruh. You don't have a clue to what's going on in the community at all, at all. That go for Kasich, that go for Conwell, and it's a question mark by Mr. Griffin because I want to work with him, right? Just like I want to work with this mayor here. You guys have systematically sat here and tried to destroy everything that young man had tried to do in his 3 years sitting on that seat, and you know it. You, Mr. Polenzek, you Kasich, you was guilty of telling me when the commission came in to ask for more funding to do their job that you don't want to give it to them. See, y'all been down here playing games, and the game is over with. Because I got some real questions for you, Mr. Polenzek. You don't have to retire. I'm gonna put you with your buddy, Bashir Jones. That's where I'm gonna put you at, because I know you're down here stealing. I know you're down here stealing, and I can prove it now. Because you've been playing games for 40 years, and you ain't had no desire to move out that seat you sitting in. I know why. You know I know why.
Time, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Brenda Bickerstaff. Brenda Bickerstaff is from Ward 9. Brenda Bickerstaff is here to talk about the consent decree, the monitor, ending the decree. Brenda Bickerstaff is not representing anyone, not being paid by anyone.
You know, I want everybody to look at me right now. And I'm going to tell you something, boy, Casey, while you're sitting there smirking thinking that's funny. What he did to Carl Racine, Richard Starr, was wrongful conviction. That's where it starts. He wrote a letter, Councilman Kelly, and didn't have no evidence of what this man was supposed to have done. None. None at all. And tried to get him removed as the monitor. That's what he tried to do. A bogus one that could have cost him, Harrison, not only his career, but his freedom maybe. And I want you guys to understand, Mayor Bibb, what wrongful convictions look like. He did it. And guess what? He ain't gonna be held accountable for what he did, because he a big bad dude, a white man, that went after a black man. That's exactly what he did. Now, as far as the consent decree, we're gonna fight y'all on that, because they need to stay here until it gets to 100%. And if they get there in 12 months, no problem. If they get 85 to 90%, no problem. But they have to be in compliance, because you know what? A lot of white officers, Councilman Kelly, when you're looking at the barrel of that gun, they looking at a black man and they fire a shot and they kill him. But they don't do it to the white boys, because I done seen it. They let them walk. And guess what, Councilman Harrison? They go home. My brother, they shot him, Kevin, 5 times in the back and said he grunted like a pig. So I understand where this lady is coming from when you say they still walking the streets. And then we got people that we elect in these positions think that this is a fucking joke. Excuse my French, I'ma have a seat.
Next, we have Stephanie Honeycutt from Ward 15. Stephanie is here to talk about 10220 Madison Avenue. Stephanie is not representing anyone, not being paid by anyone. Stephanie, you have the floor.
Mayor Bibb, Council,
Sir,
good
you don't
evening.
have the floor.
Yeah,
Stephanie has the floor. You don't have the floor. You don't have the floor, sir. The young lady has the floor.
sorry.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Honeycutt, and I'm here to express my support for the rezoning of 10022 Madison Ave. I urge this council to stand behind this initiative as well. They painted a picture as though Madison Ave was intended to resemble areas like Crocker Park in this pedestrian retail character. But in reality, this characterization was far from accurate. There never was a thriving pedestrian retail scene here. Instead, the rezoning created unnecessary barriers, stifling any potential for retail development. In the 13 years since, not a single new retail project has taken root in this area. As we look around Madison Ave, we see only vacant, rundown, and abandoned buildings, a clear sign of how this rezoning has hurt and not helped the community. The question now is, how long must we wait to acknowledge the damage that was done and take steps to reverse it? I would like to extend my gratitude to our Councilman Danny Kelly for taking a proactive stance. Unlike others who have remained idle, his commitment to making progress is commendable and deserves our support. I urge this council to back his efforts to revive this area and help bring it into the modern area. It'll also bring a lot of jobs to a lot of people in the area that could really use it. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Sandy Osso. Sandy Osso is from Ward 11. She's here to talk about 10220 Madison Avenue, not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Sandy has the floor.
Thank you. Thank you for your thoughtful consideration of this important zoning change. It's encouraging to see meaningful investment coming into our neighborhood, and I truly appreciate your efforts in helping to move this much-needed project forward. I understand this process hasn't been easy with misinformation and hidden agendas at play, but your commitment to transparency, fairness, and progress has been clear. Your leadership in standing up for what's best for the community is deeply appreciated. I hope this project sparks continued momentum, encouraging future investments in other vacant and neglected properties throughout our neighborhood. There is so much untapped potential here, and with your continued support, we have an incredible opportunity to bring new life and energy to the area. This kind of thoughtful development brings hope. Thank you for your vision, dedication, and commitment to building a stronger future for our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Assad Tawil from Ward 15 to talk about 10220 Madison Avenue, Assad is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Assad, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry. And as a resident of Ward 11, living just a few hundred feet from the proposed development project at the 10022 Madison Ave, I can no longer be quiet about this while people who claim to live in the area attempt to dictate what is and isn't proper development for our neighborhood. We, the residents of the Madison West Boulevard area, understand our community needs better than anyone else. We don't need individuals with special interests who sit on boards of CDCs that don't represent this neighborhood and live 40 blocks away, imposing their opinions on us, such as last week, I witnessed someone addressing this council as a Kudal resident area, in the Kudal area resident, expressing concerns about the safety of the children in the neighborhood. However, this person doesn't live in our immediate area. They live near Denison, more than a mile away. Our neighborhood has virtually no pedestrian traffic. The sidewalks are mostly empty, with traffic only picking up during mornings and evening rush hours. Outside of that, it's a quiet area. The lack of traffic is exactly why the CVS is closed. It wasn't sustainable due to the low activity in the area. Now, the community has been significant for over 15 years, and the current zoning and pedestrians overlay district have only worsened the situation. After 13 years under this zoning, we still have no significant development to show along Madison. And it's time we explore a new direction, just as Councilman Kelly has. The developers, alongside Councilman Kelly, have been actively engaging with the neighbors who are directly impacted, and the majority of us support this project, and I urge this council to support the rezoning for this new development. I also ask my neighbors who are here today to stand up and show their support for this redevelopment. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next, we have Tony Anderson from Ward 15. Tony is here to talk about Madison Avenue and West Boulevard. Tony is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Tony, you have the floor.
Good evening, council members. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. The project I'm referencing has faced over a year of delays, not due to broad community opposition, but because of a small group with narrow interests. I want to thank the Development Committee and especially Councilman Danny Kelly for moving this rezoning request forward. Councilman Kelly has shown real leadership by holding public meetings, delaying votes for feedback, conducting a survey showing strong support, and directly engaging with residents. In contrast, the adjacent ward's representative failed to attend meetings or engage meaningfully with the community. A small group, many living over a mile from the site, has tried to block this project through protests, misinformation, and personal attacks. Yet in a ward of over 22,000 people, their voices remain a loud minority, not a true reflection of community sentiment. To the mayor and administration, the city should support, not hinder, responsible development. If traffic is a concern, the city must address it, not shift the burden to developers. As for the fire station, the site sat vacant for years. Only after a developer stepped up did it become strategic. The outdated zoning here was never appropriate. In 15 years, not one new retail business has opened on this part of Madison Avenue. Clearly, change is needed, not more restrictions through a new form-based code. Please approve this rezoning, and thank you again, Councilman Kelly, for your dedication.
Thank you. Next, we have Fauzi Badur. Fauzi is from Ward 11, and Fauzi is here to talk about 10022 Madison Avenue. He represents a coalition for Better Cleveland and not being paid by anyone. Mr. Badur.
Mayor Beb, Council, good evening. I mean, again, the list was stacked. I'm not going to ask you for anything. I'm just going to say a thing, that While legally you may be able to vote, morally and ethically you shouldn't. Morally, because we're in the few months from election. Unless you're afraid you're going to lose the election, then you don't have a problem. Defer it to the next council to take this matter. Ethically, because this council only has 10%, 11% of the registered voters in Cleveland. So ethically, this council shouldn't even consider this matter. Election is coming. Let's defer it to the next council. For Councilman Danny Kelly, when I met him, he asked me to sign his petition. I signed his petition. I was the first signature on his petition. And I gave him enough vote that if I gave him to Michael Hardy would be here representing Ward 11 right now. He got 1,200 votes, the lowest among any one of you. Michael Hardy received 800 votes. Mayor Bibb, they trying to blackmail us and blackmail you. They want us to pressure you to pay him whatever they asking for that location. Do whatever you think is right. We standing by you. But please, if they vote to lift the restriction, veto that vote. We're asking you to veto that vote. And I'll dare them to try to override your veto. Because the majority of this council are decent, honest, public servant. They're trapped into what you call here unwritten rules. And everybody knows what's those rules. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Michael Armstrong. Michael Armstrong is from Ward 15. He's here to talk about zoning. Michael is not representing anyone and not being paid by anyone. Michael, you have the floor.
Thank you, Council President Griffin. Zoning map change legislation for my Ward 15 Cadell neighborhood, Ordinance 347-2024, was sponsored by councilmen from Wards 6 and 10. At the DPS Zoning Committee meeting, for that matter, I was afforded 3 to 4 minutes to speak and answer some questions. The committee also spoke about the sustainability aspects of the proposed zoning legislation changes as well. It passed council last summer. Let's move on to Council Legislation 791-2024, sponsored by Councilman Hairston and Kelly, a gas station that could also sell alcohol, constructed next to Cadell Commons Park and Marion Seltzer Elementary School. In the March 28th issue of the City Record, but omitted the following week, April 4th, very clever, it said public notice, the Development Planning and Sustainability Zoning Committee will meet on April 8th to hear the legislation. Unlike the meeting last summer, I and others were only allowed to speak for 1 minute that day. According to Council, this time, committee also works to improve, according to the county or your website, it says, this committee also works to improve the city's sustainable practices and promote environmental awareness. But council committee members spoke about ward boundaries, the Ward 11 council person, that's who knows best. And never mind that the Ward 11 council person resides in Ward 14. But there was zero discussion about how spot zoning, a parcel to build a gas station next to a park and an elementary school, works to improve the city's sustainable practices or the environment next to a school or park. I think Mayor Bibb will have to do that, as I expect you will suspend the rules and get this passed tonight. But why the rush? There's a zoning appeal court case regarding this parcel that is there. No problem with that. There's a judicial deadline tomorrow, April 15th, requiring the appellant to submit their defense. Why is counsel circumventing that process tonight? Let the judge rule on the appeal. That's in the public interest, too. So, Mayor Bibb, you as co-chair of America All In with Governors Pritzker and Newsom, you said last week Cleveland has always led the fight for environmental justice, and we will not back down now. We must protect the health, safety, and future of all our communities. Back up those words and do what council is afraid to do. Support the entire Cadell neighborhood. Support your zoning department and city planning. Stand for net zero in Cleveland. Stand against Cleveland's fossil fuel gas station lobby. It's time for a veto, Mayor Bibb. We will have your back. Count on it.
Next, we have Dallas Ekman. Dallas Ekman is from Ward 17. And Dallas Ekman is here to talk about the Madison gas station vote, and he represents the Cleveland Liberation Center and not being paid by anyone. Dallas has the floor.
Yeah, emphasis on not being paid by anyone or a gas station. Good evening, Council. My name is Dallas Ekman. I'm a volunteer coordinator at the Cleveland Liberation Center, just down the road from the planned gas station rezoning site to be voted on tonight's council meeting. I'm standing with Samaria Rice, Nikki Hudson, and the Coalition for a Better Cleveland in their firm opposition to this spot rezoning. I'm appalled, actually, that council members would so obviously and so blatantly, as reported recently in Spectrum News, make moves to support this rezoning based on donations to re-election. Why council members Hairston and Kelly would feel so emboldened to make these moves just as Bashir Jones was sent to federal prison, Cincinnati is recovering from a council-wide upheaval, and dozens of serious challenges to all of your re-elections have cropped up is beyond me. But I digress on this point because I have a much more important story to tell about these gas station owners seeking this rezoning. On September 9th, we attended City Council to express our discontent with the arrest of Chairman Fahim of New Era Cleveland shortly before a boycott of that gas station. We publicly announced our intention to return on September 23rd with more public commenters. That day, the very gas station owners of this rezoning project showed up to City Hall to intimidate people out of public comment. Their presence was used to deny Chairman Fahim public comment because of a protective order. He was unable to give a comment here at City Council, and his lawyer was denied the opportunity to explain the situation. The gas station owners had no one signed up for public comment that evening, and they followed us out. Their presence in these chambers was simply to silence us through intimidation. After public comment, myself, members of New Era Cleveland, and supporters, many children walked out of these very council chambers, Ibrahim Shaheda, along with a dozen of his co-owners and employees. As they did, they loudly made monkey noises and threats to the black community members. This vile, racist display included flicking cigarettes at us, again children, and screaming, again, at a crowd of children as we walked away from City Hall. In September, we requested, through public records requests, the video camera footage which demonstrates this racist intimidation against our community. I'm interested to see, Council, which of you will decide to co-sign that racist behavior. This summer, we plan to hit the streets and door knock aggressively in favor of a people's program for Cleveland. Who tonight will co-sign a racist gas station owner who threatens our community and our children with racist remarks so boldly on the steps of City Hall? Do you really want to associate your name with clear enemies of the people? You have an opportunity tonight to do the opposite this evening and vote instead against the worst excesses of political control by business owners in our community. I'm looking forward to your decision.
That ends public comment. Madam Clerk, please share communications.
File number 485, 2025, from Director Paul Barrett, Department of Finance, pursuant to Ordinance 1261, 2022, notification of initiation of the issuance of refunding airport system revenue bonds. File number 486, 2025, from Joshua Edmonds, CEO Digital C, quarterly report for first quarter of 2025. File number 484, 2025, dedication plat for Echo Avenue and East 71st Place in between 71st Street and 72nd Street, north of Etna Road, south of Morgana Run, Multipurpose Trail, Ward 12. Approved by Committees on Municipal Services and Properties and Development Planning and Sustainability. Without objection, the plat is approved. From the Ohio Division of Liquor Control, file number 487, 2025, regarding a new license application at 5800 Detroit Avenue, Ward 15. File number 488, 2025, regarding a new license application at 10820 Lorraine Avenue, Ward 11. File number 489, 2025, regarding a new license application at 2456 Lakeside Avenue, Ward 7.
Are there any condolence resolutions?
Resolutions of condolence by Councilmember House Jones for Lena Janelle Roberts, by Councilmember Casey for Bonnie Karen Kovanitz, by Councilmember Griffin for Kathy Wynn Bay, by Councilmember Hairston for Kenneth Dunnigan.
Thank you. Are there any other condolence resolutions? Councilwoman Stephanie House Jones.
Yes, please hold out a number for Felicia Morton, please.
So noted.
Seeing no other condolence resolutions, all rise for a moment of silence. Thank you. Are there any congratulatory resolutions?
Resolutions of congratulations by Councilmember Griffin for Stephen J. Vukmer, by Councilmember Casey on the grand opening of Neighborhood Family Practice West 130th Community Health Center, by Councilmember Starr for Gloria Jones Boys and Girls Club, by Councilmember Starr for Tyjanea Gordon, by Councilmember House Jones for the Village of Healing, by Councilmember House Jones for Pregnant with Possibilities. Resolutions of recognition by Councilmember Griffin on the Arab Americans of Cleveland, by Councilmember Griffin for Lillian Curry Arab American Heritage Month, by Councilmember Griffin for Raymond Bobkin Arab American Heritage Month, by Councilmember Griffin for La Villa Conference and Banquet Center Arab American Heritage Month, by Councilmember Polensek for North Italian Club, by Councilmember Griffin for National Child Abuse Prevention Month, by Councilmember Jones for Greater Cleveland Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, by Councilmember Polensek for Barut Sajovic, Minister of the Defense of Republic of Slovenia, by Councilmember Starr for Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated.
Thank you. I believe Councilman Richard Starr has a presentation. If Councilman Richard Starr can join us, and if our colleagues can open up the well. Thank you.
Y'all can come on up. Come on up. Open the well up. Come on now. I got you. Come on, family. Come on up. Oh, this is a good day. Good evening, everybody. Councilmember Richard Starr, Today is a great day because long before I became an elected official, I served over 16 and a half years working at the Boys and Girls Club, helping our youth from ages 6 to 18 years old to have a better future and work together. So it's an honor to be here because not only do I get a chance to present a resolution of congratulations to a very, very powerful, impactful young leader in our city, I also had the honor of being like her uncle all these years by her working and coming to the Boys and Girls Club, the same Boys and Girls Club I grew up in, the King Kennedy Boys and Girls Club. But tonight I want to honor Tajanea Gordon because she's the 2025 Boys and Girls Club of Northeast Ohio Youth of the Year Award recipient for the city. See, you got to understand, when you from King Kennedy, we get it out the mud, and we got to make it happen in Ward 5. So I would read some of the words from the resolution of congratulations. Whereas the members of Cleveland City Council are extremely proud and pleased to extend its deepest congratulations to Tajanea Gordon on the occasion of being honored with the 2025 Boys and Girls Club Northeast Ohio Youth of the Award on Monday, April 14, 2025. This prestigious honor, announced on March 9, 2025, recognized Tajanea as a beacon of promise, leadership, and inspiration, not only within the Boys and Girls Club community, but across the region. Her recognition comes with a $10,000 college scholarship generously provided by the Cleveland Guardian Charities. And Mayor Bibb, get on up here. I'm so sorry, definitely. And that's the right point of time in the resolution that was provided by the Cleveland Guardians Charities for that $10,000. So we do have some sports teams that invest in our youth, like I always bring to you. In affirmation of her extraordinary achievement and unwavering commitment to excellence, Tajanea's remarkable journey began in the King Kennedy Projects, where her mother, Miss Cassandra Gordon, once found support and community as a young member of the Boys and Girls Club. Continuing the legacy, Tajanea was enrolled in the King Kennedy Boys and Girls Club just at 5 years old. Since then, she has grown within the embrace the club's values, integrity, and service and hope. Tajanea's time with the Boys and Girls Club has shaped her into a leader, and she has been doing great work, whether it's in academics, athletics, or service. Tajanea has consistently shown up. Whereas Councilman Richard Starr, a proud 2007 Ohio Youth of the Year recipient myself, I extend my admiration and support to Tajanea, and I always want you to know this. Your leadership is really, really appreciated in Ward 5. I want you to understand, no matter where you are at on this journey, you're never alone. I'm always one call, one text away to support you on anything you need. I'm proud of you, Tajanea. Now, so we're fine. And when she came up and she said, do I have to say something? I'm like, no, just say a few words. Just say a little few words. Come on, just a little bit. Just a little, say thank you, thank you.
Thank you to everyone here and the work that y'all do for us and in Ward 5.
Oh.
Hold on, let them clear out. If we could, we need to clear, Councilman, if they could go to the side when they bring in our next guest. If Councilwoman Stephanie House Jones can join us to the right, and she has a presentation on behalf of Cleveland City Council.
Listen, I ain't gonna be that long. Good evening, everyone. So I'm calling up, for those who don't know, this week is the 2025 Black Maternal Health Week, and so I am calling up the teams of the Village of Healing, Pregnant with Possibilities, as well as Birthing Beautiful Communities to come on so we can recognize them during this Black Maternal Health Week. And so, we're gonna wait for these ladies to get up here. You got them, each of them? Okay. Okay. All right. So as they are making up, this year's theme of Black Maternal Health Week is Healing Legacies, Strengthening Black Maternal Health Through Collective Action and Advocacy. And there is an emphasis on the power of Black-led perinatal, maternal, and reproductive health organizations that are driving systematic change and fostering community healing. And I don't know how many people know of the work of these three organizations. When I tell you they are literally doing God's work, saving lives, these three organizations are absolutely punching above their weight. When you look at their statistics to combat Black maternal morbidity and mortality, they are just hitting it out of the park. They are using culturally relevant restorative practices in our community, and far too many people don't know of the work that they do, so that these organizations can be invested in and so that our families and our babies can actually be saved. And so on behalf of the city of Cleveland, I really just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. And yes, these are some Black women who are holding it down for the city of Cleveland. But again, I just really I really would like, if you haven't, if you have a moment to be able to experience what these spaces look like, you know, the level of stress-free environment, like the love that you experience just engaging with this organization. And this is what you would expect from all of our health organizations. But the statistics tell us that's not what's happening. And so I would be remiss if I did not take a time to highlight the work of these three organizations who are doing amazing work. And I wanted to recognize them, and I want to bring each of them up for their 1-minute commercial to talk about what they do. So first up, who do we have here? Oh, okay, so the first one is Birthing Beautiful Communities. We have Ms. Jasmine Long, Verna Darby, Dr. Heather Rice, Tanae Bolton, and Ms. Krista Lumpkins. Who would like to come on and speak for me?
We have Tammy Jones and Chantel Tolbert as well. You know, don't get me in trouble now. They was late. They're going to learn their lesson about being late. First of all, it is an honor to be here. Birthing Beautiful Communities is Northeast Ohio's only community-based doula collaborative, meaning that we actually attend the labor and delivery for the individuals that we serve. We serve about 900 clients annually, with 800 of them coming from Cuyahoga County, with the majority of them coming from every single ward here in the city of Cleveland. We are not geographically bound by a ward. We serve every single birthing individual who comes seeking our services, and we are so proud to do that. Similarly to my sisters, I'm sure we all have similar statistics: 99% infant survival rate, 91 term birth rate, 85% breastfeeding initiation rate. And when you recognize what the state statistics are for the clients that we're serving. You know that this is, as Councilman House-Jones, who is our councilwoman, my councilman, Councilman McCormick, I see you. We are very grateful for the continued support, and I feel especially happy this week because as it is Black Maternal Health Week, and this is a week to raise awareness and to educate and to come together as community, it really is a family. So you guys might see me out very often, but I can't do my job. We can't do our jobs without each other, one another. We all represent and support each other. We all work in collaboration. And tomorrow I am so, again, grateful to our mayor and our council president, my councilwoman for our project, and this council body who supported us with ARPA funding to ensure that we will break ground on what will be the state of Ohio's only operable freestanding birth center, a one-of-its-kind project that will be right here on East 65th in Chester, an $11 million, $15 million project total that is done thanks to your generous support, your faith, your belief that we could do something like this for our community right here in the city of Cleveland proper. So thank you so much for the continued support. We hope to keep making you proud, but know that if you see me, you see all of these women who stand with me, who stand beside me, and who are my colleagues and peers who make sure that this work gets done every single day. Thank you.
Next we have the Village of Healing team. We got Ashley Goins, Danielle Banks, Amber Black, Jacqueline Bradshaw, Deanna Langford. Yeah, Dana. Girl, listen, I'll be killing her name. Come on up here, Dana. Yes, come on here. This is the CEO of Village of Healing.
Thank you. I also want to acknowledge we have some board members here, Ashley Goins, Pastor Napoleon Harris as well. Village of Healing is the only and first in Northeast Ohio Black-run, Black-led, Black-operated medical center in Cleveland, Ohio. We originally opened our doors. Thank you. We originally opened our doors in Euclid, Ohio in 2022. From that, we heard the community. We opened our doors to see about 40 women. We ended up seeing 460 that first year. So we listened to the community, and about 40% of our patients were coming from the Buckeye Shaker neighborhoods. And so what did we do? We expanded, and we wanted to make sure they had access to care. So our second location is now open in the Buckeye Shaker neighborhood on Shaker Boulevard. Our third location is opening in Youngstown, Ohio at the end of this year. So in 3 short years, we have been able to service over 2,000 Black families. We are the only healthcare center, meaning we employ nurse practitioners who assess, diagnose, treat, and prescribe medications for Black families. But most importantly, our numbers speak for themselves, just as my sister said before me. A 92% full-term birth rate since we opened our doors 3 years ago, 0 maternal deaths. Our primary care is still growing as well. We have been able to expand our specialties to include family, psychiatric, and pediatrics. Right now, our family nurse practitioner is averaging about 98% of her patients that are coming in under 7 with their diabetes, hemoglobin A1C. So that's just simply amazing. So we are truly, truly the solution, and we know we are listening to the community. Here's my message to you all. I echo everything that Jasmine Long said. When you see us, you see all of us. However, Black women continue to show up and show out. We show up and we show out for this city. We show up and we show out for this county. So I am asking everyone to continue to do the same for us. Please show up and show out for us. Support these Black-led organizations that are on the ground doing the work, truly saving the lives in the Black community.
Thank you. And last but not least, we, where am I going? I know pregnant with possibilities. Hold on. What is Miss Jessica Mallett?
Mallet.
Okay, I get it. Yes, like to have it. And again, an organization who is serving Cleveland families, doing amazing work. Mrs. Jessica, come on up here.
Thank you.
First, I want to accept this honor for Miranda Rogers, who is our CEO and founder of Pregnant with Possibilities Resource Center, our amazing staff, as well as the moms we serve. We are celebrating our 10th year in this business, helping moms. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to be acknowledged and seen and see that our work is being looked at and valued is amazing, especially for Black Maternal Health Week, where we are still have too many moms, brown and Black, that are dying for birth and complications, as well as a lot of our babies are not reaching their first birthdays. So our work, we actually empower our moms, support them, provide them with resources to help them with healthy birth outcomes, as well as improvement in their life. So on behalf of my staff and all of our moms, thank you.
And so as I went to another organization, I was acknowledging the National Crime Survivors Week. They challenged me. They said acknowledgements are great, but real investment is way more important. And so I would hope that us in the city of Cleveland will do more than just acknowledge people, that we will find the way as we are creating our budgets when we look for 2026 to make real investments, not wait on anyone else to give a grant, but that we in the city of Cleveland and our operations will invest in these organizations that we know are doing real work to do results, to show results. So that's my challenge. Hey, Mary Bibb, hey, team. But yeah, so thank you all. Happy Black Maternal Health Week, and we'll take a quick picture. All right. Come on, man. Come on up here.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we'll, Madam Clerk, move the first reading emergency ordinances referred for administrative review and committee review.
Ordinance 490, 2025, by Council Members Casey and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more requirement contracts of underwater diving, inspection, cleaning, debris removal, and occasional repair of submerged and water-filled facilities for the Division of Water, Department of Public Utilities for a period of 2 years. Ordinance 491, 2025, by Council Members Casey and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more requirement contracts for landscape materials, equipment, supplies, and service needed for testing, maintaining, installing, repairing, and replacing landscaping at city-owned or leased Department of Public Utilities facilities and city rights of way for the Divisions of Water, Water Pollution Control, Cleveland Public Power, and the Office of Radio Communications, Department of Public Utilities for a period of 2 years. Ordinance 492, 2025, by Council Members Casey and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more requirement contracts of water pumps, electric motors, controls, transformers, circuit breakers, switchgear, and appurtenances, and for materials, equipment, supplies, parts, and services necessary to test, maintain, replace, and repair water pumps, electric motors, controls, transformers, circuit breakers, switchgear, and appurtenances, including but not limited to inspection, supplies, repairing, testing, labor, and installation if necessary for the Division of Water Department of Public Utilities for a period of 2 years. Ordinance 496, 2025, by Council Members Bishop, Hairston, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Capital Projects to enter into a project development agreement with the Board of Park Commissioners of Cleveland Metropolitan Park District regarding the design, construction, and use of 4 trail projects located within the city of Cleveland, to grant consent to Metro Parks to construct the improvements, to apply for and accept any gifts or grants from any public or private entity, authorizing any related agreements, authorize the Commissioner of Purchases and Supplies to acquire and accept real property and easements, and causing payment to the city's share to Metro Parks. Ordinance 497, 2025, by Council Members Casey and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the purchase by one or more requirement contracts of labor and materials necessary to maintain control systems of the SCADA and PCCS systems for the various divisions of the Department of Public Utilities, and authorizing the Director of Public Utilities to enter into one or more requirement contracts without competitive bidding with various companies to provide critical proprietary components for the SCADA and PCCS equipment for the divisions of Water and Cleveland Public Power, Department of Public Utilities, for a period up to 2 years. Ordinance 498, 2025, by Council Members McCormack, Bishop, Hairston, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Mayor and the Commissioner of Purchases and Supplies to sell certain city-owned properties no longer needed for the city's public use located in the vicinity of the I-90 Central Interchange for East 9th Street to Carnegie Avenue for the purpose of constructing improvements to that interchange. Ordinance 499, 2025, by Council Members Spencer, Hairston, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Economic Development to enter into a tax increment financing agreement with Shoreway Tower, LLC, or its designee, to assist with the financing of the Shoreway Tower project to be located at 1200 West 76th Street, to provide for payments to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and to declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose. Ordinance 502, 2025, by Council Members Conwell and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Health to enter into one or more contracts with Downtown Cleveland Alliance, the Centers for Families and Children, and other partners in homeless services for the purpose of continuing a home for every neighbor, a vision for housing our unsheltered community initiative, which is a direct to housing encampment resolution to bring people off the streets and into housing for the Department of Public Health for a period of 1 year, with one option to renew for a period up to 1 year, exercisable by the Director of Public Health. Ordinance 503, 2025, by Council Members Bishop, Casey, and Griffin, by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Works on behalf of the Office of Sustainability to employ one or more professional consultants to manage the use of city-owned electric vehicle charging stations or electric vehicle service equipment, and to charge fees relating to the charging stations and equipment, and authorizing the Director to enter into various written standard purchase and requirement contracts needed for materials, equipment, supplies, and services needed to maintain the stations, including labor when necessary, for the Department of Public Works. Ordinance 504, 2025, by Council Members Conwell, Griffin, Santana, Casey, McCormack, Slife, and Maurer. Establishing a moratorium on the issuance of use permits and building permits, certificates of occupancy, sign permits, tobacco retail sales licenses, and other license or permit applications for smoke shops.
Councilman McCormick would like to be acknowledged.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Without objection of you or Councilman Conwell, I'd like to be added as a sponsor of 502. That's a Home for Every Neighbor legislation, 502.
So noted.
Thank you.
So noted. You good? Councilwoman House Jones, if she could be added to 502.
So noted.
Anybody else with 502? Councilman Richard Starr, Councilwoman Deborah Gray. Councilwoman, is there any objection to all of council being added to 502? If all council could be added to 502 to 2025.
So noted.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, first reading, emergency ordinance to be passed.
Ordinance 500-2025 by Councilmember Griffin by departmental request, approving the collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, Ohio Labor Council, fingerprinters, and scientific examiners, and to amend Section 28 of Ordinance 194-2021 as amended by Ordinance 1284-2022 relating to compensation for various classifications.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Harsh, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Conwell.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on passage.
Griffin.
Councilwoman Deborah Gray.
I'd like to be added to 504.
Could we please add Councilwoman Gray to 504?
So noted.
Thank you. Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. First reading, ordinance is referred for administrative review and committee review.
Ordinance 501-2025 by Councilmember McCormack, changing the use area and height district of parcels of land along the western side of West 26th Street, south of Chatham Avenue and north of Monroe Avenue, as shown on the attached map.
Thank you. First reading, emergency resolutions to be adopted.
Resolution 493-2025 by Councilmember Jones, objecting to the transfer of stock of a C2, C2X, and D6 liquor permit to 4127 East 131st Street. Resolution 494-2025 by Councilmember Santana, objecting to the transfer of ownership of a C2, C2X liquor permit at 3738 Newark Avenue, first floor. Resolution 495-2025 by Councilmember Polensek, withdrawing objection to the renewal of a D1, D2, D3, D3A liquor permit at 13933 St. Clair Avenue patio, and repealing Resolution 704-2024, objecting to said renewal. Resolution 505-2025 by Councilmember Hairston, withdrawing objection to the transfer of ownership of a D3A, D3, and D1 liquor to 18025-29 Euclid Avenue, and repealing Resolution 1210-2024, objecting to said permit.
Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Harsh, excuse me, by Councilmember Harsh, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Conwell.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 15 yeas.
Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House, Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading, emergency ordinances to be passed.
Ordinance 186-2025 by Councilmembers Conwell, Griffin, Santana, Casey, Moorer, Gray, Harsh, House, Jones, Slife, Starr, and Polensek, to amend sections 607-15 of the codified ordinances relating to the illegal distribution of cigarettes, other tobacco products, or alternative nicotine products. Ordinance 187, 2025, as amended by Council Members Conwell, Griffin, Santana, Casey, Moorer, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Slife, Starr, and Polensek, to supplement the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio by enacting new sections 235A.01 through 235A.11 and 235A.99 relating to tobacco retail licensing. Ordinance 188, 2025, as amended by Council Members Conwell, Griffin, Santana, Casey, Jones, Moorer, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Slife, Starr, and Polensek, to enact new section 34721 of the codified ordinances relating to smoke shops. Ordinance 189, 2025, as amended by Council Members Conwell, Griffin, Santana, Casey, Moorer, Gray, Harsh, House Jones, Slife, Starr, Polensek, to supplement the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio by enacting new section 350.121 relating to window sign coverage limitation and to amend section 3104.02 of the codified ordinances as amended by ordinance 388, 2024, relating to civil offenses. Ordinance 229, 2025, as amended.
Councilwoman House Jones, did you want to be acknowledged on any of those pieces of legislation or something else? Okay, all right, please proceed, clerk.
Ordinance 229, 2025, as amended by Council Members McCormack and Griffin by departmental request to amend the title in Section 1 of Ordinance 1052, 2024 to change the name of Prospect International Airport Services Corporation to Prospect International Airport Services, LLC. Ordinance 234, 2025, by Council Members McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Port Control to employ one or more professional consultants to provide technical support and maintenance for code information technology activities and other related services, and to acquire software for the Department of Port Control for a period of 1 year with 4 one-year options to renew, exercisable by the Director of Port Control. Ordinance 238, 2025, by Council Members McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, to amend Section 2 of Ordinance 402, 2022, relating to general planning, engineering, and design services to add an additional funding source. Ordinance 240, 2025, as amended by Council Members McCormack and Griffin by departmental request, to repeal Ordinance 828, 2024, relating to the purchase of up to 13 passenger boarding bridges at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, and determining the method of making the public improvement of purchasing, installing, disposing, designing, and constructing of up to 13 passenger boarding bridges and appurtenances, and authorizing the Director of Port Control to enter into one or more public improvement contracts for the making of the improvement. Ordinance 246, 2025, as amended by Council Members Jones, Bishop, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Directors of Parks and Recreation and Community Development to enter into a property exchange agreement with the Board of Education of Cleveland Municipal School District for the transfer of various properties between the parties to facilitate the efficient use of real estate for public purposes, including construction of the new JFK High School Athletic Stadium at property near the new JFK High School and city-owned JFK Recreation Center, authorizing the mayor and commissioner of purchases and supplies to acquire and convey the properties, and authorizing one or more agreements between the Cleveland Municipal School District and the Director of Parks and Recreation relating to the construction and shared use of the new stadium for a term of 15 years and renewing automatically from year to year thereafter until terminated by either party. Ordinance 338, 2025, by Council Members Hairston and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Building and Housing to enter into one or more contracts with Crow LLP for professional services necessary to perform lead-safe auditor services for a period of 3 years. Ordinance 434, 2025, by council members Starr, Hairston, and Griffin by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Economic Development to enter into a tax increment financing agreement with JSAACC LLC or its designee to assist with the financing of the African Town Plaza project to be located at 7515 Cedar Avenue, to provide for payments to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and to declare certain improvements to real property to be a public purpose. Ordinance 423, 2025 by Councilmember Gray to add the name Jonah Moore Senior Way as a secondary and honorary name to Dickens Avenue between East 93rd Street and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive.
Thank you, Councilwoman. House Jones, did you want to be acknowledged?
Yes, so I do have a question for Chief Tewin as well as Chief German as it relates to our smoke shops. When we were in Health, Human Services, and the Arts Committee, and we were having this conversation regarding the smoke shops, it was stated that the Department of Public Health was not able to enforce this because they had not been empowered to do so. And so I was trying to get an understanding as to why the Department of Public Health as well as the Department of Public Safety have not been enforcing just general ordinances versus occupancy and illegal cannabis shops that are in operation full-fledged in the city of Cleveland. No one could answer that question, and so I would like if you all can actually speak to that, because if we haven't been enforcing it now, what is the difference and what could be the expectation or the assurances that this will actually happen?
If the health director did, so according to council rules, we can bring up somebody to answer that question. I know that question was posed at the table. Did anybody from the administration, Dr. Margolis, if you could come to the microphone and have an opportunity to say something.
And respectfully, while I know they might be sending up Director Margolius is not building a house nor public safety. And again, and this is a real problem, you know, as far as the lack of real enforcement to all of these illegally operating cannabis shops. No one is doing any enforcement. It's a real problem. And I think, you know, people need to understand this, coupled with the reality that, you know, it's this back and forth about we have to grandfather in smoke shops who ask for an occupancy. Cleveland City Council is a determination of, you know, the rules of engagement. And because we are creating these rules now, I really don't feel like it's appropriate to just say, oh, because all of these individuals have already submitted a permit for occupancy, that we should just go ahead and just allow them to operate when they have not been contributing to our city in any meaningful way. And so that's the reason why I feel like it is appropriate to have the Department of Public Safety in order to who's leading those divisions as well as building the house to respond to that.
Councilwoman, we have both of them up here now. I will tell you that in Finance Committee, there was an extensive discussion about that. I will let them
Was public safety there?
Today. Public safety, they're both here right now. Answer her question. Could you please answer her question? Thank you.
Hi, Council Member. I was out in the hallway, so can you repeat the first part of your question directly related to public safety?
Yes, directed to public safety, of trying to figure out why has the Department of Public Safety not been enforcing and going after the illegally operating cannabis shops here in the city of Cleveland?
Thanks for your question. I can tell you that the vice units in the respective districts, when they receive complaints, they do respond accordingly. If they receive a complaint about someone operating illegally in the city of Cleveland, they go out and conduct their investigation.
Okay.
If the vice unit within that respective area that you're talking about, wherever a complaint comes in from, the vice unit will go out and investigate it.
And
if we could,
okay,
could you both of them give the information, and then we'll do this.
Sure.
This is not normally.
I understand. Thank you.
Ms. Margolis, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Councilwoman. So
we found from other cities that do this, and just from our trip to smoke shops with Councilwoman Santana and Councilman Conwell, that me just in my uniform, my health department uniform, the team working in the smoke shops were a lot more willing to talk about the products that they were selling. With the 187 legislation, our team will be in each of the smoke shops twice a year and complaint-based, and we'll have a list, working with police, working with law. We've got a list of currently which products are legal to sell in a smoke shop and which are only legal to sell in one of the 7 registered cannabis dispensaries in Cleveland right now. And so we plan to enforce based on that and shut down smoke shops that are doing it illegally.
Thank you for that. Thank you, Mr. Council President. I hope so, because, and again, so just to get clarification, so this system is going to be based on a complaint-driven system?
No, to the Councilwoman, no. The legislation 187 2025 is we are doing twice a year routine inspections plus any complaint-based inspections as well. And so we plan to be walking the neighborhood. We already have a Google database just from the internet of Googling of where these smoke shops are. And so we've got a list of address we're ready to mail out. We're ready to start doing these visits once the legislation goes into effect.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. And I will tell you that we did have an extensive conversation. All council members are always welcome to participate in any of the committee meetings because to your point, Councilwoman, I did have that same concern, and we actually discussed how building and housing, the public safety and health department all have the authority to inspect. But I thank you for your clarity. We did have that conversation, and we will continue to work with them if we need to make amendments to strengthen it or anything else in the future, okay?
And I appreciate that. When the conversation happened in Health and Human Services and the Arts, there was just no conversation, there was no clarification on what had happened in building and housing, nor with public safety. And I hear what people saying, but I have a documented thing when I saw one of the places coming before for a, they were going through the city planning process, and I actually noted, I'm like, this is an illegally ran cannabis shop, and I was told, no, it's not. They're looking to do something else. I said, okay.
All right. We will continue to monitor that, provide oversight. And Councilman Conwell, if you can make sure that we can continue to monitor that in the committee, okay?
Can you put me on, I don't know. Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, please proceed. Thank you. Call the roll. No, read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Harsh, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Conwell.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. Call the roll on passage.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. Second reading emergency resolution to be adopted.
Resolution 469, 2025, by Councilmember House Jones, recognizing National Black Maternal Health Week, April 11 through April 17, 2025, and declaring this week Black Maternal Health Week in the city of Cleveland, and honoring the efforts of Black-led organizations driving systemic change in maternal health and committing to supporting initiatives that promote equity, healing, and thriving communities.
Thank you. Read the motion to suspend the rules.
By Councilmember Harsh, that the rules be suspended and the legislation just read be placed on final passage, seconded by Councilmember Conwell.
Call the roll.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. Call the roll on adoption.
Griffin, Bishop, Conwell, Gray, Hairston, Harsh, House Jones, Casey, Kelly, Moore, McCormack, Polensek, Santana, Slife, Spencer, Starr. 15 yeas.
Thank you. We'll move to introductions, and the one person I would like to introduce is the mayor, the recently appointed mayor of East Cleveland. If she could please stand, Sandra Morgan, I believe the granddaughter relative of Garrett Morgan, one of our. Welcome. Are there any other introductions? Any other introductions? Seeing no other introductions, are there any announcements? Any announcements? Any announcements? Councilman Michael Polinsky.
Mr. Chairman, on Wednesday, Safety Committee will meet at 1 o'clock. We have two important pieces of legislation have been requested by the administration to hear. One is the nuisance law, so I'd ask all members to please be in attendance for Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements? Seeing no other, Councilman Christopher Harsh and Councilman Kerry McCormick.
This one. Hey, it's an announcement. On May 17th, we are having the 15th annual Pedal for Prizes event in Old Brooklyn. So come one, come all. Bring your bicycle to Lowe Park. 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to pedal around the neighborhood. We're going to visit local establishments. We're going to get our cards punched, and then we're going to raffle off some free bicycles. So bring your kids, bring everybody. It's a great event. I'm giving you all 5 weeks notice so you can get that on your calendar. I'll see you on May 17th.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements, Councilman McCormick? Okay. Seeing no other announcements, we'll move to miscellaneous. Councilman Kerry McCormick.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll be brief. I know it's been a long day. I just wanted to speak, legislatively in support of 502-2025. This is a Home for Every Neighbor program. Mr. Chairman, I will tell you that I have had a deep frustration for a long time. I used to sit on the Office of Homeless Services Advisory Board about the complete absence of quick response to our neighbors and community members who are facing housing instability. When we get calls into our office all the time, Mr. Chair, there's an individual that's experiencing homelessness in the community. Residents don't know where to go. It's a hard situation to deal with. Usually it is a multifaceted situation engaging that individual, but many times historically there was no apparatus to reach out to go out into the community. And I'm just going to keep it real. I'm retiring at the end of the year. You would call the the supposed rapid response line, and you were told you had to make an appointment for the next week. I'm like, that doesn't sound like a rapid response line. Fast forward to today, Mr. Chairman, I want to recognize Mayor Bibb, Dr. Margolius, Emily Collins, who's now with the City of Akron, and the entire team who've led on this. Council as well has been very involved in this, but this was a baby of Emily Collins and the administration truly. Developing the Home for Every Neighbor program, Mr. Chairman. As was reported today, over 150 individuals have received housing. Over 50 sites have been decommissioned and cleaned, and throughout 13 wards in the city of Cleveland. And I know for a fact, Mr. Chairman, that it goes east to west, central, near east, near west as well. Mr. Chairman, this is a hands-on, direct intervention approach to engaging folks where they are and to finding them healthy, safe housing in the city of Cleveland. Liam Haggerty is the program manager here for the city of Cleveland. I want to give him a shout out. I had a long conversation, Mr. Chair, with him at an event on Sunday a cleanup of a large formerly homeless site in Tremont. But I don't know that I've seen a program act this quickly, this effectively in my years on city council. So I really, really want to thank the administration. We've got a piece in front of us at council to continue funding that. I would ask for the support of this council on that as well. That's why I wanted to be a sponsor on that legislation, Mr. Chairman. I understand there are larger questions about the county's role in this, as we should ask those questions, but we are at a point now where this program has been wildly successful getting folks into safe housing. And as the fire department and most people here, most faces here, where they're picking up garbage. Mayor Bibb was in like a hoodie lifting garbage off in Tremont with Dr. Margolius. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. The amount of messages I got after I posted, is that the mayor in like a sweater and jeans and boots? I'm like, yeah. It was a great event. But anyways, Mr. Chairman, a massive site was cleaned for the community, which the neighborhood was very happy. But just as important, a significant amount of individuals at that site were housed into safe and healthy housing. So I just want to take this moment to recognize that program. It's been incredibly impactful in our community, and especially for the 154 individuals that now have housing. So again, I want to give a shout out to everybody who's been involved in that program. It's a true success. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Michael Polensek.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to rise for personal privilege. Mr. Chairman, I have sat through the public comment sections of our meeting for as long as we started it. And we all had a long debate and discussion internally about the public comment, about the citizens participating. I want to thank those citizens who've come down with legitimate issues, with issues pertaining to their neighborhoods. They want to speak either for or against a given issue. But Mr. Chairman, I sat here for 28 weeks while people came down and called us every vile name in the book. You all remember it. You were here. It was disgusting. I sat here and I tried to restrain myself as best as I could. We've had other people come down here talking about their sexual practices and habits. But Mr. Chairman, if you think, or anyone in this body thinks, that I'm going to sit here in this body and let the mayor or the council president, any member of this body, including myself, be linked by Bashir Jones, that ain't going to happen. That punk ass that stood up, Mr. Houston doesn't even live in the city, who comes down here every week to berate somebody, I'm done. I ain't taking it no more. My patience is gone. My diplomacy is gone. If you want to be a punk ass and a jerk and a dummy, then be one. But nobody in this body has to take any of this crap. There's nothing in the rules that say we have to sit here under public comment and listen to that. I'm not going to attack the mayor or the safety director, the chief, because they want me to go after them because of the consent decree. I believe the administration, the Department of Public Safety, has made great strides in the Division of Police. And I'll say that here, I'll say it in that committee room. And this mindset that somehow we got to go after people, we got to attack people, or then we become the attackees, we become the victims in here, ain't working with me. They picked on the wrong guy from the wrong neighborhood. You want to be a punk ass, be a punk ass. End of story. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I will caution and remind everybody that this council got sued because of people that were able to come to the microphone and say any vile, despicable thing that they wanted to. And Councilman, I share your frustration. And people might see the frustration on my face today because we get tired of sitting here and have to sit back and take this stuff every day. I wish I could tell everybody to have a level of decorum, but I can't control the public's. But I will tell you this, I think everybody on this council is tired of some of the allegations and some of the things that are being said to this body on a regular basis. And the minute that we retaliate, everybody goes victim. So I just wanted to make sure I add my 2 cents and remind everybody that the minute that we say something back, then everybody becomes a victim and tries to go sue. And that's the only reason why I have to be lenient enough to allow people to say any vile, despicable things that anybody wants to say at the microphone, because quite frankly, that's what the courts told us we have to do. So unfortunately, that's the world we live in now. People like that kind of stuff. All right, who else is up? Anybody else? All right, I don't see anybody else. I do want to make a couple of comments before we go. We did hold 791-2024. But I want to make it clear to everybody, to link a council person because he's trying to make a decision on behalf of his community to make it seem like there's some kind of nefarious thing happening. Shame on anybody who starts that, even some former council people who feel comfortable enough to say that. Council people have to make tough decisions every day. This councilman in Ward 11 is making a tough decision. He went out and he sought somebody to try to do something with a project or a building that had been vacant for 13 years. He has gone over there personally to clean up that area and try to do other things in that area. Many of us have gone over there to try to see for ourselves what he is actually dealing with, and at no time is he doing anything but trying to make a tough decision for the community that he lives in. We did, on his behalf, hold up because he said he wanted to listen more to the community, but he also wants to really press the administration to try to get a deal done as soon as possible. But this man actually asked if we could listen to the community. And he has been generous in that. He has been waiting. He has waited 6 months. And at the end of the day, when people make those kind of allegations that are unfounded allegations, it's unnecessary and not fair. So I'm going to speak on his behalf. He did not want to say anything today. He simply asked me if he could hold up while he has more conversations with the administration. And heck, I get blamed for everything anyway. Blame that on me as well. But I did want to listen to his wishes to make sure that we held up to have more conversation with the administration about that site. And I wanted to make sure that we know that this council is supporting a member that is making a tough decision. And if anybody in this body wants to go down the slippery slope of starting to tell each council member what you need to vote for and what you don't need to vote for in your community that you'll represent, that the people sent you down to represent, then we're headed down a slippery slope, and everybody's going to be upset because I can tell everybody on this council that there have been legislation that members, your fellow members, did not want to do, and I had to help with votes to make sure that some of your projects got done. So keep that in mind as we have a council member that is making a tough decision. The last thing he needs to do is have his own teammates trying to shed negative light on these conversations. Thank you all for your help, but let him do what he needs to do at the end of the day. Thank you. Madam Clerk, please excuse the absences.
By Councilmember Harsh, that the absence of Council Members Bishop and Jones are hereby excused, seconded by Councilmember Conwell.